Her Royal Highness of hypocrisy just won't go away. Yes, it's Hilary Clinton again.
In the middle of a historic rise in anti-Semitism around the country, perpetuated, preached by left-wing activists, members of her own party, she's now sounding the alarm on President Trump potentially winning in 2024 and making a god-awful comparison.
It would be the end of our country as we know it. And I don't say that lightly. I used to talk about one and done. And what I meant by that is that people would get legitimately elected, and then they would try to do away with elections and do away with opposition and do away with a free press. And you could see it in countries where, well, Hitler was duly elected.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. Trump is telling us what he intends to do.
We need to listen to
Take him at his word.
Fox News contributor, civil rights attorney Leo Terrell. Go, Leo.
Thank you. First of all, that show, The View, has no credibility. The prerequisite to go on that show, you got to be a Trump hater. You got Hilary Clinton, who is still sour about losing the election. Dagan, Sean, she's describing the Democrats right now.
Yes.
They are basically weaponizing the government. They have tried to throw Trump in jail as we're going to a 2024 election. Hillary Clinton realized the polls are in Trump's favor. So what she's trying to do is demonize him. But guess what? That's what they've been doing for 2 years, and it's not working. The View, the Democrats are afraid of Donald Trump because right now, if the election was held today, he would be elected. But I want to be very clear. Weaponization against Catholics, against conservatives, against President Trump. Trump is right. If they can go after him, they go after every conservative in this country, and that's what's happening right now as we speak.
And she's a moron. Hitler was not duly elected. He was appointed chancellor and then made combined president and chancellor through a rigged referendum. She is a dope, and she deserves to wallow in obscurity.
I didn't know that, by the way, Leo. She was telling me this before the show. She's a little history major over here, full of information. But, Leo, I want to move to this because the White House, it does their best to dodge and pivot away from questions on Biden's abysmal polling numbers. But his re-election campaign clearly shaking in their boots because if you're confident in your team, you sure as hell don't run to the media with statements like this. Now, quote, "Despite the hair on fire, sky is falling tone we've seen from media coverage over the last few days, political predictions more than a year out tend to look a little different a year later." Well, you better hope so, Joe and company, as poll after poll shows Biden taking a beating with voters. As the new CNN poll shows, only 36% of Americans say Biden is an effective leader. So, Leo Terrell, what do you make of the White House and the campaign freaking out about the coverage, the actual news coverage of the abysmal polling of Joe Biden?
They continue to freak out because it's going to get worse. Let me be very clear. They can't use past historic numbers in the past because, you know what? You have a former president running against a current president. You have the American people saying, hey, I liked it when Trump was president. So this is a situation where all past records against former presidents and current presidents, you got to throw those out the window. Trump is having record numbers among Black Americans, among those under 35, among Hispanics. The numbers are dramatic because people's lives were much better under the Trump administration. And I got news for you. They were trying to silence David Axelrod on Monday because they figured he was being very honest. Joe Biden should run. They took him to the woodshed. CNN read him the riot act, and now he tries to back off of that statement. But what he said publicly is what every Democrat is saying privately. Joe Biden is unfit and unable to serve another 4 years.
Leo Terrell, driving it home. Leo, great to see you.
Always bringing it. Thank you, Leo.
Thank you.